Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Fortin out the world famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see it.
First dates, riding with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Welcome to the Tuesday night edition of Just Sports, and also welcome to your Hometown Sears studio. My name is Les Martin, along with our executive producer, IDB.
And I'm Brent Allen.
And I'm still waiting on God bless and go Cougars, and I don't know why.
That's it,
folks. That's twice.
Yep.
But anyway, let's get to our sponsors real quick, because we're going to have Coach Price calling at 9:10 tonight.
Oh.
He's going to call in and talk about his speed and agility drills, the information that you put on the Facebook. Also, for all of our sponsors, we're going to start with Sears. Your Sears Hometown Center, or your hometown Sears store in the Food City Shopping Center.
That's a mouthful.
That is a tongue twister.
That's right.
Anyway, we want to say thank you to those folks. The phone number is 562-7700. Also, folks, anything that you need inside or outside of your home, it doesn't really matter. Mattress and box springs, even though the temperatures are starting to warm up, old man winter's not gone, but this nice warm weather kind of puts you in the mind of maybe let's go look at a lawn tractor, some lawn equipment. It's almost time to upgrade, so Sears has got everything that you need. Also, we want to say thank you to Charlie's Pizza. For 38 years, they've been doing pizza and been doing pizza right. They've been often imitated, never duplicated. Their phone number is 562-0116 for any call-in orders that you may have. Or if you'd like to go in, sit down. It's a great family atmosphere. Have a big TV on the wall. Sports is on probably 24/7. Every time I've ever been down there, they've had sports on. And as a matter of fact, I took my wife to Charlie's on Valentine's Day.
Well, you're a big spender. I wouldn't expect any less.
I did. I took her to Charlie's. I kid you not. I took her to Charlie's Pizza. Thank you for calling Just Sports on there.
Hi, Liz.
How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Are you doing good?
Yeah, dancing in my family last week.
Do what?
I think we had a dance in our family last week.
Oh, really? Who passed away?
My husband's aunt,
Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that.
the very old Sally, and I think it's hard.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I am sure you did. Is everything getting back to normal now, maybe? As normal can get?
We were just in bed.
Just about. Well, you hang in there. We're going to have Coach Price on tonight about 10 minutes after 9. He's going to call in.
Oh, okay. I listened to you on the radio.
Okay, you better. I'm going to tell Coach Price that you said hello.
Okay, can you make up for me too?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell him hello for you.
Okay, tell my own got his pictures out the paper every time. Every time I see him taking him in bed, throw his pictures out.
Okay. I'm going to tell him you got his picture out.
Yep.
I will. I'll tell him.
Mm.
Who's your favorite team?
Go, good.
I'll talk to you Thursday.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Also, we want to say thank you to Burge Screen Printing, downtown Lafayette beside the Burge Memorial Bridge. Phone number is 562-3044. Go down and see Larry, Kobe, and Dawn. Whether it be a windbreaker like I have on, they even have hats. They also have signs like that is hanging up behind us. And just the list goes on and on. They do great screen printing work. So go see Larry, Kobe, or Don at Burge Screen Printing. Also, we want to say thank you to Rainbow Ford. Folks, it's the home of the guaranteed financing. Where you have bad credit, bankruptcy, it doesn't really matter. They can get you in a ride today. You want to use your income tax check? That's a pretty good way to use it, right?
Yes, it is.
So go down and see the folks at Rainbow Ford. The phone number is 562-2251. Also, we want to say thank you to All-Star Award 720 Jacksboro Pike. The phone number is 5626761. They have trophies, plaques, you name it, they've got it. For all of your plaques and all of your trophies needs, just go down and see Mr. David at All-Star Awards. If you would like to join the conversation tonight, albeit whatever we may talk about, we just never can tell. We go from one thing to the other.
That's right. We're all over the place.
That's just the way we roll. But you can call in at 566-1450 or 562-3557. Also, you can join us on Facebook by going to Facebook, Just Sports Brent and Les. Send in a request, a comment, a question. It doesn't really matter. And guess what? We'll try our best to get to it.
That's right.
And with that being said, we got some information actually about basketball. But before we get to basketball, this is what I'd like to do.
Okay.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the 2014 Cabell County football schedule. We've got 185 days until football time in Campbell County.
I like it. I like putting a number on it and having an actual schedule to look at.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, when the schedule is coming out, it's time to get fired up.
That's right.
Is there ever a time to get fired up too soon?
I don't think so. I think when the game ended against West,
Yes.
I think that at that point we were ready to as wonderful of a season as it was, and as many accomplishments and great plays and great games, we were ready for the next year. As far as the fans go, I'm sure the coaches needed a little break, and the players could probably enjoy some time off, but we as fans were ready to go. So there's no time to start early, I don't think.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see the high school games go to 12 games.
Me too. We were just talking about that at work recently, and I really would like to see that. I don't know how that would affect other sports as far as it running into something. But you know what? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, football's king. Sports, and this show is about all sports. We'll talk about golf and tennis or whatever whatever's going on. But in East Tennessee, football is king, and I'd love to see them play an extra couple of games.
Oh, I would too. I mean, you take away the open dates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't until here just a couple of years ago that they had open dates, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you take away the one open date, and
you're extending the season 1 week.
That's right. And if you go ahead and either start a week early or go a week late, I prefer going a week late because it's that cold time of year. It's hot, man. That August sun, it's rough on the players and it's rough on the fans. Of course, it gets cold, of course, too, by the end. But I think that's football weather. I think that's the way they should do it.
Yeah, the Orange and Blue game is going to be May 22nd. Also, the Jamboree will be August 14th or 15th, the Jamboree at Neyland Stadium. And then the first game, is August 22nd with Cumberland Gap away, which you may as well say it's just about a home game because it's just right up the road.
Hop, skip, and a jump, as they say.
Yep, and then August 29th is our first home game, and that's against Leancamp, Kentucky, and I certainly hope those boys fare a little bit better than what they did last year.
I don't.
Well, I would like to see them.
Here's what I want to see. I know Coach Price is going to be calling it. It might be him, but I really hope when we get them down by 50 or 60, leave Jeffers in and let him run up. I want to see a 600-700 yard passing game.
That would be sweet, wouldn't it?
And he can do it against that team.
Yes, he could. Thanks for calling Just Sports. You are on the air.
Kentucky is beating Ole Miss 70-84.
Okay.
About 20 seconds left.
Well, it sounds like Kentucky's going to win that game.
Yep.
Yep. Then they'll get a hold of Tennessee.
Hey, easy now.
Yeah, you better calm down with that Kentucky call.
But he's still got to beat somebody, isn't he?
That's right, but here's the thing. Kentucky plays Florida the last game of the season against Florida, and I hope Florida spanks them.
You're talking stuff.
Yes, I am.
That's what they call smack.
That's right.
Well, you're right. I'm not a big Kentucky basketball fan just simply because I think they cheat a lot. Yeah, really.
Bye.
Bye. And then, of course, August 29th, Lynn Camp, September 5th, Central. And then the big matchup, I think probably the biggest game of the year for us is, as always, Anderson County.
Well, yeah,
September 12th.
I would have to say that, it's big after, since Oak Ridge has been, the mighty dragon of Oak Ridge has been slayed, and I know that's Clinton's mascot. My point is, the fact that they were beaten last year, that kind of knocks them off the list of things to do. The next thing on the list to do is to finish off Anderson County, and that really is what it's going to take, just finishing the game. They had them beat, outplayed them, I thought. We won't rehash the entire thing. Bottom line was, it was a loss last year, and I agree this year we've got to make a win.
Yeah.
That's going to be at Anderson County, right?
Yes. And I dread that.
To me, that's all the better place to beat them at home. It's better to beat them at home. That's just that'll make it even sweeter.
Oh yeah, I agree. But it's one of those situations. Folks, if you'd like to join in, phone number is 566-1450 or 562-3557, and of course that's area code 423 for those that's outside a different area code.
That's right.
Also, stay tuned tonight, and I think this is going to be Coach Price. It is Coach Price. Hello, Coach Price. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. This is Coach Matt Price.
Coach Matt Price. Well, I'm glad that you could join us, my friend.
I'm glad I could get on the system because he's a little sick tonight, so he told me to get you on the phone tonight. So.
Well, we appreciate you calling.
So I'm glad I did. How's everything going?
Good. Coach, we were looking at the schedule, of course, and, it's 185 days until football time in Campbell County. And, we never get tired of thinking about when football season's coming around. Football season is, has started. We're just football fanatics. Is that the way that you look at the game itself as well?
Oh, yeah. I think you're always kind of looking at, kind of counting those things down without getting too far ahead of yourself. Kind of, right now, big focus is just the weight room to get out stronger. But, at the same time, it's hard not to, just as a football person and a football family, and just a football area, it's hard not to kind of look forward to that first game, even if it is 185 days away. It's still, still something on break your mind, but at the same time, I think a lot of times you just got to challenge from each day along to try to get better every day. Right now, if you think about football, it's a different season. So right now, it makes sense to do the weight room, get the guys stronger, and faster, and all those types of things.
As far as some of the things that you're doing now, is it a lot of things that you're going to be doing this Saturday to these youngins in Campbell County, the speed and agility drills? Do y'all do that as well?
Yeah, it would be exactly the same. Something we started with our guys probably, I think the first off-season we had, we would bring them in on 2 days a week in the morning, 6:45, and do just a lot of speed work, agility work, just picking kids out of the room. Some of the basics that we've gotten to be a little bit more advanced this year with some other guys because they've been doing it for so long. But, the things we're going to do with those guys on Saturday will be the same things we do with our kids. Hopefully that way down the road when they're up there with from the hill, that, it'll be easy for them to show up and, like kind of things we're doing now with the middle school jumpers and doing some of the things that we're doing. It's just, it's the sign of just a true program heading in the right direction. And, we got to get everybody on board and get as many people we can start out at an early age. And, one of it is, football and all that, but, the agility and the speed work, and that training, and young benefits every sport. And, those they can get going and learn how to run and learn just from some of the basic drills that are going to benefit in the future.
I agree, Coach. I kind of dubbed this the next step towards a championship, and that means in anything, in any sport. Like you said, the speed and agility transfers pretty much to all sports, and I think it's a great thing, and I think it is the next step. It's the next logical step. If you work with the middle school, guess what? Those 5 and 6-year-olds that are out there playing for the Cougars, want to be on the high school field someday. And if you can start them at this age and get them working, get them understanding the drills, it puts you literally a step ahead of where you were in the past. And like I said, I think this is the next step on the road to championships. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I agree. I think that's a great word that using that for is next step. And, a lot of times we start out with, things like this, we always know past the doing, but you kind of have your list of priorities, and you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. Not the pitchers at the bottom, but there was certain things we had to get our facilities ready for something like that. And they're finally ready to go. A lot of things with the program is a lot better where we can actually do things with this with other kids that aren't going to benefit us maybe tomorrow. But they will down the road. And that's the thing, like you're saying, the next step is, that's a great word to be using, like some great slogan for what we're trying to do. And I say it'll benefit these kids, and even if down the road they don't decide to play football, it'll benefit them in basketball, baseball, tennis, soccer, whatever they decide to do. These are just going to be drills that we try to make them the total athlete.
Coach, I understand that certain things that you all do at the high school level, and as far as going to the middle school and even down to the Little League, some of the things that you are involved in, is that something that you're hoping, like Brent was saying, that's going to pay off later down the road, that these kids excited about what's going on at Campbell County High School?
Oh, definitely. Because I think anytime you look at this area, out in the Knoxville area, most of the time, if you look at the high schools that are successful, their feeder schools and their little leagues are both also successful. You're talking, George Cleveland from Airborne, and when I was in college, I used to just see the way being in that community that, it trickled down. So those kids started playing ball when they were 6 years old, but wanted to grow up being a Maryville Rebel. Well, actually, that's the thing that we want to try to build there. So they grow up, they don't want to go anywhere else to play. They want to play for us. But not all that, but we're familiar with them and kind of their talents and their abilities. And the more we're around them, the more we'll be skipping some stuff that we have to skip when they become, freshmen in high school. That really have a relationship with the kids and their families, kind of maybe some things they can do, some things that they're really good at, and let's make sure we utilize them as opposed to maybe some trial and error early on in the prep.
As far as the success that has came this soon to Campbell County High School football program and to the coaching staff, did you think that would happen that quickly, or was it something that just kind of came together as each week progressed last year during football season?
I think it was the combination of it. I don't think you ever want to try to put a time frame on something just because it can lead to disappointment a lot of times. And we went to the mentality of, if we can just improve something every single day, eventually all that's going to take care of itself. And, our first year, we had some bumps. And so at the same time, I saw some things towards the end that were better than, when Clayton Howell and that crew, Ethan Miller were seniors, you could see it like they were so close. And it was, with one of those games we lost late in the game and you played out to the last minute who went on to the semifinals. And, and then this year where those games, the previous year maybe we saw our system flip Boston. This year we did. A lot of the games from the second year to third year, they weren't much different as far as, throughout the game. It was just that we finished a lot of those late. And again, I think that goes back to the weight room, kids understanding expectations, and not just wanting to win. But I think the big thing was they were expecting to win those games. I think early on everybody wanted to win, but expecting to win is a little bit different. And I felt like, I think that's why we finished out one of those games this past year. And like I tell guys, last year was too fun enough to do it again, so we got to keep working hard and make sure we, remember what got us there.
I know that we had some players that go to the Border Bowl, and you was the defensive coach for the Tennessee team, correct?
Yes.
You had Nick Bailey, Corey Phillips, and Andrew Evans go to the Border Bowl. What kind of experience was that like for you as a coach?
It was fun. It was one of those things you kind of coach and kind of be relaxed a little bit. There's not a whole lot of pressure. You get to coach some really good talent, and it's just one of those things where you're hanging around coaches that maybe spend a lot of time with them and bounce off ideas with them. There's things that they do in their program that help us. And, again, I coached with Coach Gill in Harris County. It was good to be back around him again. I mean, just those guys, those relationships building, kind of that coaching fraternity. And those are all, it was a good experience for the coaches, but I think for the players, more than anything, it's kind of just a good environment, what college is going to be like for them. I mean, that living in a dorm and, on that certain schedule, not having all that, and get you up out there. It was good. I think our three guys handled themselves very well. They were very punctual on time. And, they practice well, and they represent our county in a very positive way.
As far as the coaching staff and things that you all accomplished this past season, I know it's awful early, but I've got to ask you this. I say we. I've got to ask you that. I'm the guilty one here. Do you look to build on what you did last year as far as the win-loss record, or do you look at just getting better, like you said earlier in the conversation, day by day?
I think obviously we have to focus on that day by day type mindset, and the whole blue collar, kind of wearing your work clothes every day and making sure you're doing the best you can. But I do think our kids got a taste of some really good things last year, and you can just see them working. And facing a team like Northwest, that was the best in 5A. I know they lost the 10th straight game, but we weren't ready for them. And as a coach of that, and players, and a lot of times, it's good to see it firsthand of, how pissed we are, but to see again how much things that we need to work on to get there. And, I think we'll still take that mindset of the underdog and, trying to prove everybody that we can still maintain here, because the challenges are different now, but the challenges are still there. Maintaining it is the same as, trying to build it. I think sometimes it's even tougher to climb. Sometimes it's even easier because it's easy to motivate. But when you're on top or cut off something successful, just making sure that you're on mind in the right manner.
Have you ever thought about how much tougher it might be the second time around as far as trying to repeat with such an excellent win-loss record? Or are you pretty much focused on the fact of, let's see here, we knocked off Oak Ridge, we beat Oak Ridge, we beat Powell. The only ones that we lost to was West and Anderson County. You're going to have a lot of teams coming after you this year.
Oh, definitely. And I think Justin said it. Our kids kind of taking ownership of the real. You kind of become the hunters, not just for the hunters. But again, you got to have the mindset that you are still a hunter, and you're out there looking for things. Because again, it's a new thing, and what we did last year, it's not going to mean much once we go and get ready for the 2014 season. It was a magical year, it was a fun year, but at the same time, every year is a little different. And and the way society is, it's just you win a state title next year, the next year they're going to run you out of town. So our main thing is just making sure that our kids understand what got us there and build on that. And, like I said, always have a goal that they do it. A lot of guys, they may run 4.5, but want to run 4.4, and then they want to run 4.3. So, maybe, go to second round, 20 offs, and do those type of things. Maybe we'll take a step further. And, that's one of those team goals that the kids will kind of come up with their in themselves. Our main thing with the coaching staff is just to make sure they work hard and remember kind of what got us there.
I agree, Coach, and I think that will transfer over this year and in the coming years, and that's why I think what you're doing with the speed and agility thing is such a big deal, because every step that you can eliminate or bypass, and like I said, you mentioned it before. I know that with all my kids playing football and myself playing Little League football in the area. Oak Ridge always seemed to have, they ran plays at a lower level. Even the 5- and 6-year-olds were running plays right out of the Oak Ridge playbook. They were the most basic plays, obviously. But they knew the lingo, they knew the terminology, and to me, I think that always gave them a head start. And I think that what you guys are doing now is basically is putting Campbell County on an even playing field. Even though maybe the school's not as big and maybe not quite as many athletes, the bottom line is it's putting us in a position where these kids are athletically ready when they get there as a freshman to exploit their own abilities, and I think that'll make the difference in the long run.
Well, I agree 100%. All your best programs are doing that, Brent. I mean, it's not hard to see sometimes. That, you look at Louis programs, and you've been around Louis a long time with your boys. You'll see. I mean, those kids are doing things they do on Friday nights 8 years down the road. So that's what we've got to get through. I mean, we had great relationships early. Philsters, Brent Lancer, and those guys, they do a great job. Always supporting us and doing everything we can. And, we do as much as we can for them. And, I know they were excited a couple years ago getting that field. They changed our colors back to orange and blue a couple years ago. And just those little things that camp, we had these camps, they do such a great job of helping us and getting kids there, shooting facilities. That's why I'm excited about what we're going to do on Saturday, is get those guys up there. Not necessarily just a football room, but just see, the weight room is just as important as catching the football or running with it or throwing it. So I'm excited about getting those guys up there and kind of seeing, what the future does look like. And from the sound of what I've been hearing, it's pretty bright. And can't wait to get those guys up there and work with them.
I agree, Coach. This isn't a one-time thing, correct? I mean, this is we're going to have it on.
As right now, we plan on doing it every Saturday morning. As long as those guys will come, we'll continue to do it. This is something me and Justin done this before in the past. I think it's a great thing. I know when Perry High School was one that we talked to several years ago, and they do it. It's a really good job to get guys invested in the program and being around the coach. I think relationships is one of the most important things when you're dealing with kids. And just seeing us and seeing our personalities, how positive we are. We're going to coach them hard and work hard, but at the same time, we're going to be positive with them and learn some things that can benefit them and any sports they're playing at this time.
Yeah, I agree, Coach. And I know that, that Colton went to your camps at the other, or your training at the other school, and really learned a lot from you guys. And like you were saying, learning the personality of the coaches. I mean, it was at that point that he said he was going to play for you guys wherever you were coaching. And really made a difference I could see a big difference in his. I'm just giving my testimony that I know it works. It made a difference in the way that he runs, the way that he moves, the explosiveness. It all changed, and I think it's a great thing to do. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to do it.
Oh, it was a blast for me. I mean, sometimes I get sick of seeing our kids every day, and I was really sick of seeing me. So it'd be good to see some different faces and some younger guys too that are kind of. A lot of times the younger they are, the more eager they are to learn, and that's going to be a cool experience.
So it's going to be this Saturday. What time, Coach?
At 10 o'clock. From 10 to 11, like I said, we'll take as many as we can get. If we need to, we can adjust times as parents see fit and try to go around. I know we got a lot of, baseball and soccer and stuff like that starting up, so we'll try to work around those guys. And like I said, there's no contract or anything like that. I know, like D1 and some of these nautical places, they require you to pay monthly fees. No contract, no us, and just come ready to work, and we'll make it happen.
Is there a fee for this, Coach?
Yeah, we're going to charge $5 just a kid, just to maybe we can just maybe the wear and tear of the facility. Maybe we can buy some more stuff for those kids and for our kids down the road. So not trying to make it a profit off of it, just trying to maintain facilities. Make down the road. We can add some a few little things to help us for those kids that are older. But like I said, we'll take anybody we can get, and hopefully we get as many kids up there as we can. We've been in contact with the Little League administrators, and they're saying, I think they've heard 20 to 30 kids definitely they're going to be interested in it. The good thing I like about what we do, you can't make a Saturday, it's not a big deal. You're going to be losing money like at some of these places like Steve Walker and Johnny Longfield or Knoxville. I know that's a long drive for those parents, and plus it's expensive. And so we're going to try to just bring it home and do probably the same stuff that they're doing over there, just in maybe a little bit smaller facility, but something that's pretty nice.
All righty, Coach. Well, we certainly appreciate you calling in tonight, and I'm sure Brent will see you bright and early Saturday morning. If I can talk my boy into going, I just may see you bright and early Saturday morning as well.
Hey, bring him on in. We may let you brush your drill for us too. Let's demonstrate a little bit for us.
Yeah, okay.
You'll learn to run it. year.
You better have some oxygen.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
All right, Coach.
Thanks for having me on, and y'all have a good evening.
All right, you too, buddy. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.
That was Coach Matt Price, the defensive coordinator for the Campbell County High School football team.
Yeah, real quick before we go to break, he mentioned the places like D1 and Johnny Long's. For folks that don't know, if you're listening, if you ever go over there, you're talking $50 for an hour, not $5. You know,
Yeah.
This is a great deal. I mean, this is not a moneymaker thing for them. They're not trying to, to find some way to profit off this. This is basically for free. $5 is nothing. I mean, $50 an hour is basically what you're going to pay at D1 for the same kind of training. Yeah, like you said, the facility's bigger, but you know what? It doesn't matter how big the facility is. It's the work that you're doing.
Right.
And Coach Price and his guys know exactly how to do it and do it the right way. They do a great job at it. So make sure you get them out there.
Yes, absolutely. Folks, you're watching Just Sports.
So we got the Sports Network.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming into your Sears Hometown store for all your lawn and garden needs. And remember, we have appliances, so be sure to come in and buy a washer so you don't get laundry up to your eyeballs.
Hi, folks. I'm Gary at Sears. For every box of detergents that's sold, Robert said he'd give me a raise, so please come by and buy some. Thank you.
See Robert, Gary, and the entire crew at your hometown Sears store, Food City Center, Woodson Mall of Follett.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Ford, now the world's famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, riding with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pastas, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Welcome back to the Tuesday night edition of Just Sports. My name is Les Martin, along with Brent Allen. Thank you for joining us and taking an hour out of your day. Thank you to Coach Matt Price for calling in and taking probably 20 minutes of his time away that will never be replaced.
That's right. It's a good interview. Matt Price does a great job. Like I said, my boys love him, and I know everybody that's around him does.
Well,
he works them hard. Don't get me wrong. He really gets the most out of it. When it comes to the physical part of football, or just training in general, but he really instills a lot of good traits in these kids, and it pays off.
A lot of that has to do with the fact of discipline.
It is.
And going when you feel like that you can't go anymore.
Yep, pushing through. He talks about that to him. I remember when Slayton came home when they first came to work up here, and he was using terminology that I used to use in the gym, back years ago that I hadn't heard. And that's the kind of thing that you have to do. The little things like the difference between being hurt and being injured. There's a big difference.
Sure there is.
If you're hurt, you play on. If you're injured, you need to get medical help. There's two different things. And in the past, and this is not to take away from anybody, and call anybody out, but I know there's times, oftentimes in the third quarter or fourth quarter, we had a lot of guys that were laying down. You'd swear they had torn ligaments and were in all kinds of pain and all that stuff. Yet you'd see them walking around the next day at Charlie's, or whatever. And that just tells me that they didn't play through the hurt and the pain, and they weren't injured. And now they do. These kids put forth that extra effort. And I personally think it's a direct reflection of their coaching.
Yes, I agree 100%. And you know what? I remember as a kid going to middle school and going to high school, we did not have any structure weight training at all. They told you, okay, no, I'm serious. That's probably the reason why we lost. I'm just saying. But not that I can recall. Now, if somebody knows any different, feel free to call in and correct me. But I remember going in, okay, guys, we got an hour to lift weights. Start to do this, and this. And the coaches walked out, and it was just the kids in there, going from station to station to station. Now, how much working out did you really think was going on?
Well, yeah, I agree. You had a lot of folks that were just socializing and goofing off and talking about girls or whatever. I know that there was some guys that took it seriously. I certainly did. That was to me, that was great. My favorite time of the year was lifting. And anyway, I agree. It makes a big difference, and these kids have shown it. And the kids this year, and not to take away from the kids the previous year, we had plenty of strong guys. Coach Price has talked about that as well. You know, the fact that no matter how strong you are, if you can't get your arms around somebody, you can't tackle them. You got to have the total package. That's why this speed and agility is so important, because you can bench press a house, but you can't chase down the guy with the ball. Doesn't matter how strong you are.
Exactly.
You're just watching them go down the field. So important stuff. But anyways, I guess we should move on to.
Yeah, we're going to move on. Folks, stay tuned tonight to WLAF for the Tennessee Overtime tonight at 11 p.m. Immediately following the Tennessee-Georgia basketball game, it is Tony Basilio's Tennessee Overtime.
Great stuff, Tony.
Tonight at 11 o'clock, right here on WLAF.
Good stuff.
It is, and it's going to be right after the Tennessee-Georgia game. And right now, speaking of Tennessee-Georgia game, Tennessee's on top in that contest with 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in this first half by the score of 28-26 over the Dogs.
And how many points will they blow it by?
How many points what?
Will they blow it by?
Probably 10.
Yeah, I'm on the train for bringing back Pearl. That's, of course, I always have been, but it's really getting some heat now. It's building up.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and that I was going to talk about that tonight as well. But before we do, I've got to cover some Campbell County Cougar news.
Oh, absolutely.
The Lady Cougars played tonight against Halls and lost. This was in the consolation game. This is for third place. The winner of the game between Campbell County and Halls would have been the third place winner. Well, Campbell County lost by a score of 47-40 against Halls. So Campbell County finishes fourth in the district. Halls finishes first. And then the winner of the championship game, we'll find out exactly who that will be. And Al's one of them, and I don't know who the other one is.
Well, you know what? Great season. I didn't see it coming. Did you?
No.
The Lady Cougars, I really didn't see it.
Not the way they started out.
Yeah, they lost a lot, and again, you have to put a lot on the coaches, as far as I'm concerned, to be able to take a team, a rebuilding year, if you want to call it that. Really, they lost a lot of big shooters and stuff. And to turn around and have a tough beginning and then end up with I don't know what kind of run they had. I haven't kept track of the actual numbers, but I know that every time I turn around, they're winning.
Well, it's going to be Powell and Anderson County in the game Tuesday night at 7:30, which is tonight at 7:30. They're going to find out who the champion would be. So, you know, it's pretty awesome. Campbell County plays in one of the toughest districts in East Tennessee. So, congratulations, Campbell County. Sorry you couldn't go further in the district. I don't know exactly if they will qualify for the state or not. I don't know if it's just like it is in men's, the top four advance. I don't know that yet. So we'll find that. We'll soon find that out shortly. Have that by Thursday, I hope.
Good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Also, I want to talk just briefly about the 2015 class real quick for the Tennessee Volunteers. They've got, looks like four stars, and maybe one of those 4 stars is going to be a 5-star, you said?
The 2015 class?
Yes.
That's correct. If I could see the names, I might be able to tell you which one it was. I believe it was Preston Williams. It was.
Preston Williams.
According to 247 Sports, he is now a 5-star, and that's going to go a long way.
Well, he's 6'4", 180 pounds, and they've got, looks like they've got 7 guys that's already committed.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they haven't signed because they can't,
right? But
they're already committed to the University of Tennessee, and starting off to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
I mean, stop and think about it. Out of the 7, we've got 3 4-stars, 1 5-star, and the other 3 are 3-stars.
Is the big lineman from Coalfield in this class, or is that 2016?
No, that's this class. Zach Stewart.
Yeah.
6'5", 280 pounds, 3-star.
Yeah. I think his stock will go up this year coming up as well. He could be looking at 4 stars coming into the actual signing day. I'm
going to be eager to see if Andrew Butcher, he's out of Alpharetta, Georgia. He's a 4-star, 6'3", 245-pound defensive end. 6'3", 245-pound defensive end has got to be lightning quick.
Yeah, and he's in 11th grade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, speaking of that, we've covered a little bit of that. Now, we're going to talk about Tennessee basketball. We got to talk about Tennessee basketball for just a bit.
I really don't want to, but, I will. I'll indulge you.
Well, they played Missouri Saturday. They had a chance to win that game Saturday.
Yeah.
And Conzo Martin, Coach Martin, said numerous times to throw the ball into Jarnell Stokes.
Right.
For 17 minutes in the second half, he said, throw the ball into Jarnell Stokes. Not one time did he throw him the ball. What do you do if you're a coach in that situation? I'm starting to set some thoughts.
Set people down. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, you take a timeout way before 17 minutes. You take a timeout, and you get in some grills. You let them know that we got a big guy down low that needs to go to work, and you need to put him to work, or you're going to be riding behind. And that's basically what he needed to do. And I don't know, maybe he did. Maybe they don't have respect for him. Maybe they want Coach Pearl to come back. I know it sounds crazy, but let's be honest. If you come to Tennessee to play basketball, Tennessee men's basketball, with the exception of the Coach Pearl years and
right.
back in the Ernie and Bernie days, is that right?
Yeah.
Anyway, with the exception of those days, pretty much Tennessee's not known for basketball. So if you've got a coach with such a engaging personality and somebody that can get the arena filled up every game, wouldn't you rather play for that guy?
I'm thinking if it's about the money, absolutely.
Well, I'm thinking about it from a player standpoint. When you make
yeah.
a shot and you turn around and look, and only half of the arena's full, whereas in comparison to when Coach Pearl was there, every game was packed.
It was sold out every game, just about every game, especially right there at the end before he was released by the University of Tennessee. Well, Tennessee is 6-6 in the conference. They're 15-10 overall. They look like they're in 7th place in the Southeastern Conference. And let me say tied for 5th. Can I say tied for 5th since Vanderbilt, Tennessee, LSU, and Missouri all are 6-6? Now, Florida, of course, is on top. Kentucky's in 2nd place. Georgia's 3rd place with an 8-4 conference record, but listen to their overall record, 14-10. They're talking about Tennessee getting into the dance.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I heard about it today, and apparently they still have the ability because of the RPI of the teams that they've been playing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Apparently most of the teams that they've lost to have gone on to beat pretty much everybody else, or have really good records. And of course that helps them out. I don't see it personally. I don't. If they go, they'll be out in the first round. There's no way they can go past the first round.
I don't think they'll go to the. I don't think they'll even go to the NIT this year. That's just my opinion. Now, if they go to the NCAA tournament, it's going to be very, very surprising to me. If that's the case, then college basketball in itself has got to be way down on the list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I agree.
There's got to be a lot of teams that's suffering this year as far as not having a good basketball year.
Well, the SEC this year is not looking that hot. Florida's looking strong, but I don't know how strong they'll look against other top-ranked teams. I don't know their record, but Kentucky's lost a couple. What are they, 18th or 13th or something like that? Kentucky.
Yes.
Yeah. So, for Wildcats fans, they might as well be in last place. They're not used to being mediocre. And just looking throughout the SEC, with the exception of Florida, there's just nobody that really impresses me.
Yeah, I agree. And that kid from Florida, I don't.
The freshman?
No. Boy, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. But he's a little guard. He is tough. Real good. So.
Yeah. They got several good players. The freshman.
Scotty Wilbekin. That's the guy.
Well, the freshman that I guess he missed the first 4 games or something like that, or maybe it was more than that. First 4 SEC games, but he's come in and made an impact right off the bat. So they've got some players, and obviously a good coach. I hate to admit it, but he is a good coach, and they got something going on down there.
Also, did you hear about Florida State recruiting an 8th grader?
I haven't heard about maybe this one, but I've certainly heard it in the past. I mean, other 8th graders are being recruited.
But how is that possible? I mean, what can you offer? What can you offer an 8th grader?
The same thing you do to anybody else. You're offering them a dream, really. I mean, you're offering them, and all they're doing, Les, is making a relationship. They're just trying to get a relationship with the kid, make him feel comfortable, so that because even at this point, when the time comes for them to sign on the dotted line, he might not be as good as they thought. And guess what? They don't have to sign him. They don't have to offer him a scholarship.
I mean, as far as a parent, now I'm going to go as far as a parent. Would you allow your
Are you
kid?
kidding me? I'd have Coach Saban in my he'd be over for dinner. I'd be feeding her pork chops and whatnot. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, I think if they think that highly of a player, he's got to be special.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the kid is, but there's several out there, that really. One of the things is, though, and like I was saying before, you don't know how they're going to end up. In 8th grade, they've still got a lot of growing to do. Some do, some don't. I mean, some will stop growing, some will grow quite a bit more. Some will lose interest. Some will find. You'll find that because of the league that they played in, that they were a man among boys, but when they get against higher competition, they're not that good.
Right.
So it's kind of iffy. You got to really be careful about that. But like I said, all they're doing is they've seen film on this kid. Somebody's contacted them and said, you better start talking to him because he's going to be great. And he might not.
He's 5'7", 150 pounds. He's 13 years old, and he's going to be part of Florida State's Junior Day on March 1st.
What position does he play?
Running back.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the few positions that you can really see when some kids have it, and some kids don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not huge for that's an average size for an 8th grader. But if he's got all the moves and he's shown that he's got all the moves and he's running at a much more advanced skill level than an 8th grader, then I could see that being worth looking into. I think you got to be more careful with linemen, quarterbacks. You got to be careful with. But I think a running back, you're pretty solid. This is just me. I'm not an expert by any means, So don't take that to heart. It's just my opinion. That's one of the few positions that you can pretty much tell when somebody's when they've got it.
Yeah. Thanks for calling Just Sports on the air.
28 to 26 to 32. It's a halftime score, Georgia, Tennessee.
Tennessee's winning, right?
Tennessee's winning 36-32?
Yep.
Oh, that's
Oh, 26, 32.
32-26.
32-26, Tennessee?
At halftime.
Okay, thank you very much.
So I'll stay with you.
Okay.
If you mean, hey.
All right,
We'll try.
We'll try our best. All righty.
Well, she's done hung up, hasn't she?
She is done hung up. Sure as the world. Also, Alabama has a D. Hart. His name is D. Hart. He's a running back. Have you heard about him being charged with marijuana?
Mm-hmm.
But, they say he's an up-and-coming running back for the Crimson Tide. Although, yeah.
My goodness, how big is he? Is that a kid he's talking to? I mean, he looks huge.
I know he looks huge.
Yeah. Those running backs at Alabama have been huge the past few years.
According to the article, he's a rising junior. He was arrested Sunday, charged with 2 misdemeanors, including second-degree possession of marijuana. But here's the thing. He's got 5 other running backs that is ahead of him.
Yeah.
That's all going to be returning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a special teams guy then.
Including T.J. Yeldon, which rushed for over 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah.
This is the second player in 2014 that's gotten in trouble that was an Alabama Crimson Tide. Is there trouble in Tuscaloosa?
I don't think there's any more trouble there than anywhere else. I think any school you go to, from the top programs all the way down to the bottom rung NAIA teams, there's going to be people well, kids are going to be kids. They're going to do stupid things, and no matter what level they play football at, their brain is still 18 years old, or 19 or whatever, and they're going to do dumb things, and there's nothing you can do about it, in my opinion. I mean, you do the best you can. You just like you would a parent, or as a parent, as a coach, you would try to guide them the right way. Limit their temptation. But unfortunately, I think marijuana is one of the things that's really widespread, in my opinion. I think it's something that is overlooked a lot of times in the NCAA as well as the NFL. And we talked about it in the past.
Right.
Roger Goodell saying it's okay to. But he doesn't have a problem with if they legalize it in the NFL. I think we'll probably see it at some point. I don't agree with it, but unfortunately, it's a pretty big deal.
Well, also, it's one of those situations to where A.J. Johnson was, you heard about the ordeal with A.J. Johnson.
Yes.
Underage drinking, contributing to a minor. The list goes on and on. All, of course, which are misdemeanors.
Right. And so was the possession charge. That's a misdemeanor as well. But I look at it like this, and maybe I've got twisted thinking on it, and I don't mean to cut you off. Were you going somewhere?
No, go ahead.
I just think that there's a difference, and maybe I shouldn't think this way, but unfortunately, it's something that's been tolerated, or they look the other way on college campuses since college campuses began. I mean, it's always been that way. There's alcohol, something that's commonly misused on college campuses, and in the past. And let me throw this at you: had they not resisted arrest, had they just shut up and went on their way like they should have, none of this would have happened.
Right.
Now, understand that I assume KPD showed up, unless it was the campus police. At any rate, it's the same. They show up. They know who these guys are. They know they're underage. They say, guys, turn the radio down. Your music's too loud. Got some complaints. I know you're having a party. Keep it cool, and we'll, everything will be fine. And they leave, or try to leave. And before they could even get out of the parking lot, the music was back up. My point to that is, they weren't going to do anything. So they were going to turn their eyes, avert their eyes from it, and act like nothing was going on. That tells me that it happens all the time. It's just the fact that they basically slapped them in the face and said, we're not going to listen to you. We're college football players. We don't have to listen. And they ended up arrested.
And there was a lot of others that were cited.
Exactly. 18, I think.
18 altogether. So, do you think Butch Jones punishes some of these?
Oh yeah, I think he will, but I don't think it's a sign of a problem with the program. I think it's been going on and continues to go on every campus, every football team, and I think that they'll handle it right and move on.
Well, it's one of those situations where you kind of hate to see the fact of the University of Tennessee, even the University of Alabama. I'm not a huge Alabama fan by no means, but the fact of that Alabama had some kids that's in trouble, and now Tennessee's got some kids that's in trouble. Although it's misdemeanors, it's something minor. It's something that, if I'm not mistaken, will be expunged off the record.
If they stay out of trouble for enough time, right?
Right. So, what's lost? Really not a whole lot of anything, except it brings a little bit of shame to what Butch Jones was trying to do at the University of Tennessee, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, it's just another knucklehead move, just like Tyler Bray throwing bottles at cars or whatever. It's ugly. You wish it didn't happen. You hate to get that kind of press, especially when you've got such a great thing going. And you got to think Coach Jones is just tearing into him about, guys, what are you doing? We're trying to build something here. We're building it brick by brick, and you're knocking them off.
Right.
We've got to stay together and stay out of trouble.
Exactly. Thanks for calling Just Sports. You on the air.
How you guys doing, fellas?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah?
Just sitting back and watching you all on Just Sports, and do you know if Christian Monday's going to sign with anybody right now?
I have not heard about Christian Monday at all. I do know that Nick Bailey has signed with Carson Newman. Andrew Evans, along with Corey Phillips, has signed with Kentucky University Christian, or Kentucky Christian University. So I have not heard anything about Christian Monday at all.
Nor have I.
And another next question I'll hang up and listen to your comments. Who do you favor in this week's Daytona 500?
Wow.
Just have a good evening.
Thank you, Ed. Bye.
Daytona 500.
Okay.
Is it already time?
Yes, it's Sunday.
So you're jacked up then.
I'm jacked. Absolutely. But here's the thing, though. You're not one of those guys you're not one of those naysayers that think that the Daytona 500 or the qualifying was sticks because number 3's on the pole, do you?
No, I think the kid, Austin Dillon, I think he's got it. In fact, I'm an Austin Dillon fan. I'm getting on the bandwagon now.
Okay.
I mean, and he may wreck in the first lap, I don't know. But I'm getting on the bandwagon. They see something in this kid, they know. And I know there's many, I mean, there's a reason.
Right.
But he's proven it on his way up. He's proven it time and time again that the kid can drive. And I think we bring back the nostalgia of number 3. And you know, me not being a huge NASCAR fan, it brought me to tears when Earnhardt died. It really did. I don't know why. I still to this day don't know why, because I didn't really care that much about NASCAR at the time. But to me, it was shocking.
Yeah.
It was a shocking thing, and we won't get off on the Earnhardt thing. But I do believe that Austin Dillon, the number 3, will take NASCAR by storm.
Well, how far is what about your pick for the Daytona 500? You gonna pick Austin?
No, I wouldn't pick him to win on his first outing.
Because he's a rookie. You got to stop thinking about it. He's nobody going to go.
Nobody's going to help him. I mean, you got to look at Jimmy Johnson. I mean, he's proven time and time again. Of course, Tony Stewart. Those guys. How can you not or count those guys out?
Right.
Jeff Gordon. I mean, who knows? It could be anybody.
I would love to see Tony Stewart win the Daytona 500. He has not won the Daytona 500. But I'm going to tell you who I really think is going to win the Daytona 500, and you're going to tell me I'm crazy, and that's
Last name
okay.
start with a K?
No.
Okay.
Last name, Brad Keselowski?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well, you said I think you're crazy, so.
Well, Mark Truex Jr. He's driving the 78 Furniture Row Chevrolet. He left Toyota and Michael Waltrip because of all the ruckus last year in Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
He did not want to be part of a program that was going to give him a black eye, which I cannot say that I blame him. I would have left as well.
Absolutely.
So, is it still, thank you for calling Just Sports, you on there?
I want Lance Martin, if he's got any pull down at Rainbow Ford to help Miss Honeybee on her early car.
Okay.
She said she wasn't going to give me hers. It needs a good paint job, but she wanted her something that looked pretty so she could drive up the TV station.
Well, that's the place to do it.
That's the place.
It don't have to be new, she says. It's just so it runs.
Well, all she's got to do is go down there, and I'll pick the phone up and call them.
She wants to purdy him now.
Okay, well,
Then she wants to trade hers in. They can paint it.
that's right. She can drive it down there and trade it in. They'll trade it in.
You need to take care of Miss Honeybee because she's a good
I will
Takes
try.
care of us.
Yeah, she takes
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Wow. An hour's come and gone. We're at the end of our rope.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't know either. But it sounded bad. But I meant it good.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, folks, we certainly appreciate you taking an hour out of your day. We will be back here Thursday night, right here on WLAF, for our executive producer, the one that's hunting the car,
Yeah.
Miss Honeybee. My name is Les Martin.
I'm Brent Allen. God bless and go Cougars.
WLAF Sports Network.
Folks, this is Robert again from your Sears Hometown store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed, or having a backache, or your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your